extra uh, information about it, so he got what he needed out of this picture. Um, but that's pretty much it. That is the general idea and what's needed of a chest X-ray, a two-view chest X-ray, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, from my audience, is there any questions? No?
Why is it so important to hold your breath?
So they like to see the lungs inflated when we're taking pictures. When we do that, when we hold breath, you get more better detail of the lungs, as well as if you're breathing while we take this picture, it can tend to show blurriness in motion, so you won't see every detail as fine as you would. It's just like taking a regular picture, you know, like if you're just taking a picture with a friend and you're moving a lot in the picture, you're going to see some blurriness around and it's going to be hard to see fine detail. It's kind of the same concept here. Voluntary motion is something we can help to control when we're taking that picture. And so when we tell them to breathe in and hold their breath, it kind of holds any type of inner body activity from happening, so we can get the finest detail we can on the picture and make a more impressionable picture for the doctor. So that's one of the main reasons why we do it there. Like I said, they also like to see the lungs inflated. By doing that, it gets the diaphragms out of the way. When you take in a breath, your diaphragm muscles go down, and so it kind of gets them out of the picture there, as opposed to if you were just had a regular, if you were breathing in, diaphragms would come up, kind of shorten the lungs by pressing against them, and it's going to make it harder to see a picture or to get a diagnosis of what's going on. So that's why we tell them to hold their breath.
What if you have a non-responsive patient?
If we have, in that situation, which happens pretty often, maybe we have a patient who might have a mental condition, or maybe in that situation, or a child maybe who's just kind of hard to, you know, yeah, just to talk to and like give instructions to. We just kind of make the best we can out of it. From my experience, what we'll do is we'll just keep an eye on the patient. If it's a patient who can't really communicate well, we're just looking at them, and we'll watch their breathing patterns from the control panel with our finger on the button, and we'll just watch their chest rise and go down and in and out. And when we see it taking a breath, when we see it's obvious he's taking in a breath, we'll just hit it right there. And that's the best we can do. You know, we just have to work around the issues. So.
Okay. And why do you have to remove all the artifacts?
Because we don't want anything that would be obstructing the view of what's of interest. So in this particular case, we're looking at lungs. If the patient was, let's say, wearing a long necklace or something, that would show up there, and we don't want that in the picture. We don't want anything that kind of obstruct any type of view of what we want to see. The pin, maybe they're wearing a pin in their pocket, like in their buttons in their pockets, it might show up. You might just see a long stick here or something. We might also see, there's also sometimes there's things that might show up that we can't work around, such as like maybe they have a pacemaker. You can't tell somebody to take off your pacemaker, or maybe in other, you know, more odd situations, maybe they have nipple rings. Can't really have them take them off if they can't do it. So, but for artifacts here, we just want to make sure things that we can control are not in the picture. So, I mean, common stuff you might see, like that we might miss on the first time. Maybe we tell the patient if we have a woman, she have a bra on, she might say, no, I just have a sports bra on. We're like, okay, it's just string, it's not going to show up. And then we take the picture, and then it's obvious there's clips or there's metal hooks or something, and they're like, oh, we forgot, yeah, I do have clips on this bra, and so we have to do it again. We make sure we ask them ahead of time, because the ultimate goal is always to keep away from having to expose the patient twice to radiation when we could avoid it the first time. You know, I mean, it's not radiation that's gonna like double your chances of cancer or anything necessarily like that, but our ultimate goal as technologists is always to lessen radiation as much as we can for the patient and for ourselves. So.
On average, how many pictures would you have taken of this patient from the doctor's order?
So we only take, well, on the order, it was only what's called a 2-view. So we just take 2 pictures. We just take this view, and then we take a lateral aspect, meaning from the side. In some rare cases, some patients are just so big that we have to take maybe 2 pictures because their lungs are so long that they don't fit on one picture. So we'll take as much as we can of the upper, and then maybe like part here would be clipped off, and we'll just take a lower shot from like maybe here to here to make sure that we have overlap to ensure the doctor that nothing is being missed there, that we have overlap, so everything is on. He can, in his head, essentially stitch it together and see one big picture. But for this patient, he was pretty much the perfect size for our image. He fit just fine, and we got him in there. If anything, I could have probably lowered the machine a little bit more, and we would have had more space down here. Because really, we don't need this much of the neck, the C-spine in the picture. But it's just, sometimes those things are kind of hard to gauge patient by patient. So patients' lungs are high and wide, and some are long and narrow. And a lot of it has to do with just the body, body size. So there's a word for that. I just can't come up with. But yeah. Any other questions? No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you for being my audience. Again, another chest, a PA chest X-ray, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.